Welcome to the National Insulation Association's Mechanical Insulation Installation video series. NIA is a not-for-profit trade association representing contractors, distributors, laminators, fabricators, and manufacturers that provide and install mechanical insulation in the commercial, mechanical, and industrial markets throughout North America. Since 1953, the Northern Virginia-based association has been the voice of the insulation industry and is dedicated to keeping the commercial and industrial insulation industry up to date on the latest industry trends and technologies. NIA is constantly involved with a variety of activities, including committee-driven projects, the production of Insulation Outlook magazine, providing industry educational and networking events, and the development of high-quality industry products. We invite you to visit our website at www.insulation.org, the resources within this video, and the websites the video series sponsors to learn more about the industry and the value of mechanical insulation. Each of the instructional videos in the series will provide a general overview for the respective mechanical insulation installation practices for the more common occurrences. There are many insulation system variables, installation considerations, and regional practices that make it impractical to address each and every one in a series of short-duration instructional videos. Created by industry for industry, these installation videos provide a general overview and basic how-to guide for mechanical insulation applications. Each video is generic in nature, incorporates consensus recommendations of the sponsoring manufacturers, and the applications demonstrated were completed by experienced field mechanics on piping and equipment mock-ups, representing project requirements. These videos are a great industry resource for supplementing existing craft training and educational programs for new or existing sales, service, and administrative employees, and for direct and indirect users to obtain an overview of application practices for the respective insulation materials. There are a wide variety of insulation materials, facings, and accessory products available for use on mechanical systems. The list changes continuously as existing products are modified and new products are developed. The task for the insulation system designer is to select the products or combination of products that will satisfy the design requirements at the lowest total cost over the life of the project. This task is not easy. In most cases, the designer will find there are a number of products or systems that will work, and the final choice will depend on cost, availability, and ease of installation or other performance considerations. The task for the craft personnel installing the mechanical insulation system is to stay abreast of application recommendations and techniques, and to install a quality finished product. Each insulation material has its own operating temperature ranges and service parameters. Selecting an insulation material for a particular use and application requires an understanding of the physical properties associated with the various materials. Specifiers and users should check with manufacturers for the respective composition, use limitations, physical properties, application, maintenance, initial heat-up procedures, and other recommendations for the product selected. There is a wide variety of specialty insulations and accessory products that are not demonstrated in this video, but are required for successful installations of mechanical insulation systems, including fasteners, tapes, saddles, pipe supports, caulking and sealants, grease duct insulation, specialty insulations, expansion and contraction devices, inspection plugs, etc. It should be noted that the insulation material, thicknesses, and finishes demonstrated in this video are intended to serve only as examples and are not a recommendation of an insulation system for any specific type of operational service. Most mechanical insulation systems require a covering or finish material. The primary reason is to protect the insulation from damage. Weather, mechanical abuse, water vapor condensation, chemical attack, and fire are all potential sources of damage. Depending on the location and application, various terms are used to describe these functions: weather barriers, vapor retarders, mechanical abuse coverings, condensate barriers, sometimes called moisture retarders, appearance coverings, and hygienic coverings. These functions are performed by a number of different materials or material systems, In many cases, a single material can provide multiple functions. Metal rolls and sheets and fitting covers are commonly used for weather protection and abuse resistance. They are available in plain, embossed, and painted finishes, smooth or corrugation configurations, with moisture barriers and different banding and closure methods. The most common metal jacketing materials utilized in mechanical insulation applications are aluminum and stainless steel. Polymeric, plastic, rolls and sheets and fitting covers are available at various thicknesses and colors. These materials are glued, solvent welded, or taped, depending on the polymer. Typical polymeric or plastic jacketing materials utilized in mechanical insulation applications are polyvinyl chloride, PVC, and polyvinylidene chloride, PVDC. Laminates are, in general terms, materials made by bonding through the use of heat, pressure, adhesives, or any combination thereof, 2 or more layers of materials. Laminates used for protective jacketing may be comprised of metal foils, plastic films, papers, nonwovens, scrims, etc., and may or may not contain a top coat of some kind for coloration, UV resistance, contain varying degrees of configurations, etc. Fabrics are woven from a wide variety of textile fibers and used as insulation jacketing materials, particularly for removable, reusable insulation covers. Coatings and laminate membranes are usually applied to these fabrics to provide increased protection and abrasion resistance. The selection of the fabric-coating combination for a particular application depends on the temperature, abuse, chemical compatibility, and combustibility requirements. Mastics and coatings are available in numerous formulations. They can be broken up into special use classes, and the selection of the proper mastic will depend on the insulation type, application, operating temperature, fire hazard classification required, expected service life, and other conditions. They can be applied to protect the entire insulation system surface or over irregular insulation surfaces, and used to seal around insulation protrusions and terminations where other finished materials cannot be effectively applied. Depending on the product and application, they can be applied by brush, trowel, or spray. Always carefully review the safety data sheet before handling any materials for specific safety requirements. The National Insulation Association and its members strongly recommend following all safe work practices while handling, working with, and/or installing, removing, or disposing of any insulation products. Following is a general overview of basic safety requirements for mechanical insulation applications. Wear any personal protective equipment listed on the safety data sheets for the material you are working with, and follow all instructions provided by your employer. It is always a good idea to maintain sufficient and proper mechanical or natural ventilation to assure concentrations at lower levels. Protect your eyes from dust and particles by wearing appropriate eye protection when handling any insulation materials. Such eye protection includes, but is not limited to, safety glasses with side shields, goggles, or face shields. Wearing long-sleeved, loose-fitting clothes, head covering, and gloves may also be recommended. Be sure to consult with your employer's safety program for all safety procedures and requirements. Before we review specific application practices, let's discuss a few fundamentals and the pre-application requirements that basically apply to all product installations. Insulation cartons are not designed for outside storage. Protect insulation from water damage or other abuse, welding sparks, and open flame. You should check with a manufacturer for packaging variations or any specific storage temperature limitations and shelf life information. The outer surface of the area to be insulated should be properly prepared prior to the installation of the insulation. With any insulation, the substrate can be primed and/or coated with a corrosion inhibitor to minimize the potential for corrosion. This decision should be given careful consideration during the design stage of the insulation system. Apply insulation only on clean, dry surfaces. Wherever possible, it is recommended the building be dried in and the pipe or vessel be tested and released before insulation is applied. Never leave partial installations exposed to weather conditions. It is also important to point out that corrosion under any thermal insulation can occur for a variety of reasons. Regardless, moisture has to be present. Thus, do not install insulation over wet or corroded surfaces and guard against moisture intrusion during and after installation. Keep adhesive and contact surfaces free from dirt and water, and seal immediately once adhesive is exposed. Store and apply when ambient and insulation temperatures are within the range recommended by the manufacturer. You should check the project specifications and the manufacturer's recommendations before beginning any installation. Insulation systems, like all mechanical systems, require periodic inspection and maintenance. While inspection and maintenance are the ultimate responsibility of the building manager and/or facility owner, the fact is that most insulation systems are frequently ignored. With time, insulation systems can be damaged from a variety of causes, and if not repaired or replaced, can become ineffective. Insulation contractors can play a key role in facilitating regular inspection and maintenance programs. There are risks associated with not maintaining a mechanical insulation system in a timely and effective manner. Those risks, including the severity of those risks, will vary depending upon the use and surface temperature of the operating system, the surrounding environment, ambient conditions, the extent of any damage to the insulation system, the insulation system design, the quality of the installation, the timeline of correcting any damage, and other occurrences that may be unique to the area in question. Each company has its own level of risk tolerance, however. The risk of not timely and correctly maintaining a mechanical insulation system is real and should not be overlooked or underestimated. The manufacturers of the insulation material, finish, and vapor retarder, and the insulation contractor should be contacted for their repair and/or replacement recommendations.